listen to the Healing Guides podcast with Hannah or Marian Abdullahi, which is my real name, on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. So I recorded an episode. It's going to start after this, but this is like explaining something important. Basically, in episode Healing Guides 102 or 102, I talked about signs of the end of the world from Islam's perspective, which is my religion. But the current one is, corrupted and demonic. The original pure Islam will return soon and guide the human race. Because the Quran right now, the scripture Muslims use is corrupted. Bible is corrupted, which was God's prior scripture before the Quran. So it's going to unite Christians and Muslims first, really. A little bit of some of the Jews, and then the rest of the human race will be like, oh, finally, God's, true, book is here, or knowledge that will take out the corruptions in these books is here. Whichever way God will do it, only He knows, etc. Another book is not going to come down, but He'll take out the evil in His religion. Only He knows that, okay? I just know God's help is coming. So for that reason, I talked about signs of the end of the world that will happen before. One, supernatural leaders will be sent down. One is called Mahdi Abdullahi. The other one is Jesus. So he's called Isa. In Islam, Jesus is the English name. So he was a prophet. So God protected him. He didn't die. So he'll be returned, is what Muslims believe, to lead human beings. But before Jesus returns, they think this other leader will be sent, right? Spiritual leader, which is Mahdi Abdullahi. Only God knows, okay? We don't know who they are. we don't know if that's their true name, etc. Only God knows the details, okay? But the goal of that episode 102 was to show you that because the world is about to end, and because these leaders are coming soon, or even if it's not them, some leaders are coming soon, because God always does that, okay? He always helps His creation. They can't do it on their own. They need someone supernatural, like a prophet or messenger. And since prophets and messengers they're not going to come back anymore. They're not going to come anymore, because Muhammad was the last messenger and prophet. It's just that God will still send someone, you get me, to guide human beings. But they believe to some degree a prophet, right, of past human history, which is Jesus, will return too. That's what they believe, like Christians. So before they come back, the devil wants to do more evil to the world for these people to basically clean up, okay? He thinks because they're coming soon, and as a devil, all the evil he's doing will be stopped very soon by these people who can deal with him because they're supernatural too. He thinks he should destroy the world more, okay? So that's why there's so much global chaos, okay? It's not going to get better. When a problem stops, another one will start, okay? It's just going to get worse, 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 because the world is about to end. But when these leaders come, then there's going to be justice. There's going to be happiness. You get me? These people, only when they're here are you going to actually take a breathe. You're going to breathe. But you may not be alive at that time, okay? We don't know when they're coming. It could be years from now. So then, right, those humans really will experience some peace. And then the world after that will end, okay? So for that reason, I talked about how that's connected to me. The events of the end of the world, a lot of them have happened to me, and they're connected to me. And I talked about certain countries in the world that all this evil stuff is happening in the world that I'm calling global chaos, it means demons are attacking those countries. Those are the countries that are connected to me, because those are the countries I wanted to go to when I was trying to get away from demonic persecution, something I've experienced all my life, ever since before my birth, which only happens to prophets and messengers, but I'm not a prophet or messenger, okay? So for that reason, these countries, I'm going to mention it, but I explain it in the episode after this, okay, that I'm recording. It'll be mixed with this episode. So I just want you to remember what these countries and states in the United States are called, because I want you to remember, and just Google or YouTube all the stuff that's happening in these countries and states in the U.S., and you're going to be like, oh, it's connected to you like that. And it's okay, you know what I mean? If it's hard for you to believe this, I'm not trying to get you to really believe in anything right now. I'm just trying to give you knowledge right now. God will help you understand this later as time goes by, okay? So the places in the world that are being destroyed right now by economic problems, right? Or even evil, if you want to call it that. Some people don't call that evil as much. Are the places that are connected to me. Those are countries I wanted to go to. And then in this country that I grew up in, the United States, the places where horrible things are happening more, because it's not happening every state extremely, right, are the states that I was living in, okay? Or I tried to go to and start, sort of my journey. Okay, 2019 is when I got extremely persecuted, when everything started, right? The global chaos. Okay, first country, China. Second country, Taiwan. Okay, and then, okay, China, 2019, COVID happened. It started everything. And then Taiwan, flooding and earthquakes are happening right now, which is one of the signs of the end of the world, okay? God is trying to prevent me from going there by doing that natural disaster, okay? Because I tried to go there, okay? And then, right, obviously, at some point, okay, anyways, and then the United States, in 2019, I was in Minnesota, where I grew up. Okay, so Minnesota, George Floyd happened, that incident, and then all the chaos in this country started there, right? All the crimes, right? All the vandalism, theft, police and humans, citizens, clashing, everything you can imagine, right? Okay, it started in Minnesota because I was living in Minnesota, which is the same year persecution started towards me, which means my state is going to get attacked. When I say I'm persecuted, it means where I live. It means where I live is going to get attacked. Okay, bad things will happen to the state. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I've asked God to not let demons do that. But, it means the devil is mad because I have divine missions. He's mad that I'm here because I came to help people. I just can't tell you what that is, right? So he's allowed by God to then attack where I live because of me, okay? That's not to be conceited. That's just to tell you the truth. But one day you'll have the wisdom to see that as truth because God will show you that, okay? Right now, I'm just giving the info. I don't expect you to believe in that sense, okay? Because you can't understand right now, okay? Okay, Minnesota. God pushed me to southern states, not northern states, which is where I was. So, because the southern states are where God gave the devil permission to attack more, okay? The devil chose where he wants, right? So northern states, a lot of them are okay right now. But the southern states are really suffering. So they are like Arizona, a little bit of Pennsylvania, New York, which I tried to go to. I tried to go to New York and start living there. It got attacked. The same time I tried to go there, which was the past like 7 months, okay? So around August or September 2023 to 2024, April now, New York has had so much problems. It's destroyed. You don't want to live in that state anymore because I tried to go there, okay? And then I got prevented therefore by the devil doing that. And then the other states like Arizona, I tried to start business. I tried to go there. Sorry, it doesn't matter what I tried to do there. I tried to go there, and now Arizona is the first state that took away all rights of abortion, all types of abortion, okay? Not just some. Because there you go. I lived in Arizona. So when I go there, bad things start to happen, and then boom, it gets worse, and it's getting worse now. Texas. I stayed in Texas 2021 till 2023. Okay, boom. Texas was nice back then, but then it got attacked. All these migrants, all these crimes, everything, okay? It's because I was in Texas, okay? It's because I was wrongfully imprisoned for a crime I didn't commit. I was being abused by the devil there, using humans there, possessing these demons to terrorize me, okay? Which is what the persecution was doing. Usually, it imprisoned the prophets. I'm not a prophet, okay? But you get me. I go through similar things, which is what I mean. So, okay, Texas now is ruined. You don't want to start business there. You don't want to live there. You don't want to go there. Like that. So, and then I went to other states too, Maryland, West Virginia. I was just traveling through them. I didn't stay in them, and I didn't try to live there. I didn't try to do anything there because my trips got ruined and I got rearranged, and I traveled in this country because I'm being persecuted. Wherever I go, evil behaviors are coming to me from complete strangers who are possessed by demons, terrorizing me with criminal conduct. So I have to keep moving for my safety. Okay. Okay, so this episode will explain that a little bit. So the bad stuff happening in the world is connected to me. The areas that are suffering the most are places that are connected to me. And then the other signs of the end of the world that I will talk about in the next episodes, you'll see how I can explain that in a way, and some of them will connect to me as well. So that then you even see more. This persecution, I tell you, even though my testimony, I didn't share that with you yet, which would, show you evidence and stuff. You at least understand right? Because you're probably thinking, if I'm someone that's being persecuted by demonic spirits, using humans who are possessed, you're probably thinking it should be obvious, right, to some degree. It is, okay? The states that are being destroyed in this country, the countries that are being ruined right now, any way, shape, or form, those countries are having problems. Those are places I wanted to go to or I was living in. So it is, therefore, evidence. You get me, that I'm being followed by something evil. It comes to my environment and it ruins it, okay? Just to prevent me from using that environment to help people one day and complete my divine missions. I will, obviously, by God's grace. It's just, this is the persecution. I'm allowed to suffer. Okay, so here's the episode. Listen to the Healing Guides podcast with Hannah or Marian Abdullahi on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcast. I hope you can hear me very well. It's kind of loud where I am. So I'm going to make sure this one is not that long, maybe 30 minutes, because I'm not going to go too far into this topic. So I already made an episode, not episode, I guess, a recording. 102 is the number on signs of the end of the world before this leader who's called Mahdi Abdullahi, as well as the past prophet his name is Isa, but Jesus, is his other name, come down, you know what I mean, before Muslims believe that they will, basically present themselves and become leaders for the human race. Therefore, because they're about to appear soon, the devil is attacking the human race at a greater level. So there's going to be global chaos for that reason, because these leaders are coming soon. You get me? So the devil is like angry, because all the control he's had over the earth all this time, well, they're going to stop him, obviously, when supernatural leaders that are divinely chosen by God Almighty, who are spiritual leaders, therefore, when, they're about to appear, that's why usually there's so much evil in the environment that God sends them to. Because, it's not just because, right, there's a devil out there and there's demons that you cannot see out there, and there's so much evil they work with, possessing a lot of human beings who they've, taught to become evil, and that's just the reason. No, it gets worse because the devil knows when they're going to come soon. Such as, for example, when they're born, God gives demons the knowledge to know this is his new leader. So for that reason, you don't know as a human, but when this person is being born and growing up in some parts of this world, the devil then increases the amount of evil in the world because that person's here. It's like he's mad. Because what that person's going to do is get rid of all the evil in the world. That's what they do. That's their job. So then he makes it worse. You know what I mean? The devil makes it worse. So that explains why there's so much chaos in the world. And I, in that episode, talked about how, again, I'm not trying to be conceited. I'm not trying to be arrogant. And I'm not telling you who I am. And I'm not supposed to tell you who I am. I'm trying to give you wisdom so you understand what's going on. Since I tell you that I was being persecuted by the devil and demonic spirits ever since before my birth, I was trying to show you how a lot of things that were happening to me from childhood till now, but then especially when I got persecuted in a more obvious and extreme way, such as police being used against me and complete strangers in large groups always following me and bothering me and committing crimes. You know what obviously persecution is. That basically started to happen when I noticed something's following me, even though I didn't know it was demons doing it. It was just humans always somehow identifying me and coming up to me and just harassing me in a way that is just extremely psychologically torturous, ruining my life, therefore. And then I decided, right, that this country is not safe for me and I should get out of here. Okay, so when I tried to get out, then the country got attacked, But before the country got attacked, the devil created COVID, which was 2019. So that episode 102, is where I talked about some of the signs and connected it to what I experienced. It's so long. So I'm trying to give you a little bit of a glimpse of important parts of it and a little bit that I'm going to add on to here. I'll just record up to 30 minutes for today so that at least you don't miss the important parts of what I was trying to share. So in 2019, when God gave the devil more power to persecute me, which means demonic spirits are possessing human beings who are very evil, capable of whatever they're being possessed to do, to bother me. You get me? They don't know me, right? So how can they stalk me? Their demons are stalking me. They come to my area. Wherever I am in this world, they seem to follow and know me. And in I think it was 2021. No, I think it was... Yeah, it was 2021 that God actually showed me that they're demonic spirits. Can you believe that? Just very recently. All these years, I didn't know they were demons. Because God blinded me from ever being like, but God, how do these complete strangers always seem to identify me and harass me the exact same? You get me? I didn't ask that logical question. If everywhere you go, that happens. Because God blinded me from even wanting to ask him such a question, because he wasn't ready to show me that they're demonic spirits. When I grew at a certain age, when I developed to whatever it is that he as a creator wanted me to develop into, and he was ready, that's when he showed me that these are demons and not humans. They're possessing that individual, and the demon is in full control. Because obviously there are a lot of people who are possessed right now, but to some degree they control themselves. No, the demons, the humans they're obviously using to stalk me and bother me, right? The demon is in full control in that moment. So if you talk to them, the demon is actually talking to me. It's creepy as hell. So it was 2021, that God showed me that they're demonic spirits. And when God did that, a few months prior to that, you know what I mean, like 2020, I remember, since I got so used to being harassed the same way by almost any stranger I saw who was similar type of human beings, the average toxic human is them. So it's not humans far off. It's literally the average person in this country or anywhere I go in this world. I remember thinking one time, because it was COVID around this time and I had a mask on, but I didn't put on a mask. I took, like a cloth, and I just covered it with my face. So my whole face was covered. My eyes were the only things you could see. And I remember saying to God Almighty, wait a minute. Why are they harassing me the exact same way if my face is covered? Because I thought, right, these are evil human beings. They can obviously see something about you that they don't like, right? Maybe jealousy, envy. They're jealous of something. Usually they have the same personality. You know what I mean? They're very narcissistic and perverted and typical shallow humans. But you get me? They have big jobs. They're different. They're literally anyone in this country. You get me? They could be a law enforcement. They could be a lawyer. They could have a nice business. I don't want you to think of some poor loser over there in terms of, economic type of life. It's the average human. You get me? They have jobs. They're married. They have kids. But they're all evil on the inside. You just don't know. So, right? I always just thought to myself, this type of toxic human, right? Maybe there's just something about them that's always making them bother me. Something they see in you, right? But when my face is covered, how are they able to then still treat me the exact same way? There were times they would bother me and I'm facing away. Maybe I'm walking and my back is what you would see if you're walking behind me. And they still harass me the same way. They still shout and cuss and curse at me the same way. So that's when you get me, was starting to actually see something strange is going on. You get me? That's when God allowed me to think and actually question. Well, prior to that, I just got used to it. I wasn't allowed to think the way a person would usually be allowed to think, because God didn't want me to invest in trying to figure out why it's happening, because he wasn't ready for me to think about it, right? Okay, so the persecution that I go through, which is what prophets went through. I'm not a prophet or messenger, but I'm going through something only those supernatural men went through, because I have divine missions to complete just like them. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. Therefore, I'm not a regular human. For that reason, I'm being persecuted. Okay, so it's an extra power God gave the devil. It's not his typical power. For that reason, it's extreme. I'm in the same country as you, maybe, or in this world, obviously. But in my neighborhood, things are always going to happen in a way that is not logical, you know? Like, you're not going to know horrible things are happening to me, even though we're maybe in the same country, because God is going to do it in a way where demons are able to hide it. So, okay, let me hurry up. Basically, 2019, I lived in Minnesota, right? That's where I grew up. In the United States, where did all this chaos start? George Floyd, right? Minnesota. So it started in the state when demonic spirits, God gave the devil extra power, keyword, extra, because they were following me and harassing me and ruining my life prior. But it was just, you wouldn't really know what's happening to me unless you were in my life. But things got direct and obvious. They actually using cops to follow me around, trying to accuse me of crime. Now in a more blunt way, like in a criminal way. The cop will just lie. A more dangerous way of persecution, basically, right? As if something actually sent them to you, as if the human actually knows what they're doing, like that. You might actually start to think the cop knows, who you are or something. They're being told to harass you, but no one knows who I am. And if they knew, they wouldn't have the ability to not be afraid, So God took away their fear. God took away their ability to see me, including you. You cannot see me, so everyone's blind. Just what God wants to happen is happening. So even I'm in a situation where I go through a lot of anger for that reason as to why God is putting me through this, but I've just chosen to accept the life he has chosen for me, I obviously resisted and fought with God a lot as to this difficult life he gave me. Asked him to change many things, but he won't. So in that, he has taught me to have more faith in him and just let it go. And just, he shows me what he wants my future to be, right? Like what sort of my destiny is. I just don't have much detail, but at least I know who I am and why I'm being followed. And, I've just sort of surrendered to what my creator basically wants me to become, the type of person he's trying to mold me into becoming in order to handle these difficult things, Well, at the beginning, many times I kind of just wanted a normal life, but God has showed me many times it's okay that I don't technically get the normal life I always wanted, because I never had a normal life, just so you know. It's like I live in a desert all by myself, you know? Um, so when God gave the devil extra power to persecute me, right? All these evil human beings are possessed. They're just coming to my environments, my neighborhoods. Their goal is to accuse me of crime and put me in jail or prison or mental hospital in order to hide who I am. The human doesn't know anything. They're just possessed, okay? It's their demon that's doing everything. The human is just evil or guilty of what they're doing. They just don't know who I am. You get me? So when things were getting dangerous like this, it was the year 2019. What state am I living in? Minnesota. Okay, the whole George Floyd incident happened. So I want you to know that the evil stuff that's happening in the world today, as well as nationally in this country, is happening first and is centered mostly in the states that I lived in. You get me? So it's connected to me is what I'm saying. Again, that's not to be conceited or make you uncomfortable, but I have to be honest with you. Demons are attacking the states in this country that I go to and the places they think I'm going to go live in. So they're actually following me. Everything was fine in 2019 and prior in this country. Do you agree? But when I realize my life is in danger and I have to leave this country, I tried to go to Asia, okay? I picked Taiwan. Before I picked Taiwan, I actually chose China. So I actually wanted to go to China to start my business. That business, the devil is afraid of it because it's going to help a demographic of the human race that he took their rights, okay? So it's something that will help people. Okay, I wanted to go to China. What happened in 2019? COVID happened in China, okay? So that is a way they prevented me from going to that country. Then I told God, okay, I'm going to go to Taiwan. And what happened to Taiwan? It got attacked. And now 2023, 2024, they have so much floods, right? Earthquakes. I can't go there now, okay? So, because I was still trying to go to Taiwan up to now. You know what I mean? I gave up on China because of the whole COVID thing, how the government also started to become crazy on people. Okay, but at least Taiwan was the second Asian country that's similar to China that I thought I should go to. I also wanted to go to Singapore, but you know, that's not something I wanted. You know what I mean? I looked at all the Asian countries, but the ones where I was actually planning my ticket, right? I'm trying to go to this one. That's the one they're going to attack, not the ones I'm speculating. Okay, so I might have speculated the others, but the ones I wanted to go to, I was ready, is the one they attacked. Okay, so COVID, international travel was stopped. I can't leave the country. And they attacked the countries I was trying to go to. Very creepy. Okay, so I obviously still didn't give up on Taiwan back then. So up to 2021, I was still trying to go to Taiwan. This year, since I want to leave the country, again, right, we're still trying because the persecution is preventing me from leaving the country. And I swear to God, I'm not joking with you. Demons and the devil are trying to prevent me from leaving this country, okay? Because the moment I leave, my sort of breakthrough is going to come in. You know what I mean? They have a lot of control over the United States because it's a very demonic country, very, very evil country. Their government is literally behind every war now for the past how many decades, right? Every war, they just go to innocent people's countries and just fight with them every day, right? Come on. You know what this country does to other people all over the world. What it has done to Africans, what it has done overall. Okay, so their government is very harmful, obviously. There's obviously evil humans in global countries all over the world. Their governments are crazy too, but you know what I'm talking about. The United States is crazy, okay? So their government is the problem, right? So obviously there's a lot of good people in this country, but you get the point. Their government overshadows that. So the devil has a lot of control then if I get stuck in this country to prevent me from success. Because everyone I go to, right? Let's say I want to start a business. I can go to this lawyer, this attorney, right? To obviously work with me as I start a business, right? You need people like that. Banks, professionals who help you start a business. Everyone is going to just be possessed and they're going to not help me. They're going to just be so hateful. You get me? I'm not going to find decent people who will actually support me. So that's why I have to leave. You get what I'm saying? Because the average human is so evil that as long as the demon can recognize I entered a building they're working, that employee is never going to work or help me, okay? You get me? Even though they have nothing against me, okay? So I have to go to a country where people are more moral or decent. Then their demons don't have as much control over them. Okay, so at least I was still trying to go to Taiwan after COVID started, but I at least decided to leave Minnesota. So nothing bad was really happening nationally in this country, right? It was just overseas, right? It was just China. It was just those countries having problems. The U.S., and just like any other country, just had COVID as a problem, right? But there wasn't this sort of craziness and crime and all that stuff, correct? Things were still okay. We all stayed in our homes and things were safe outside. When I started traveling, leaving Minnesota, my trip was ruined. Okay, so I still tried to go in the northern states, such as Ohio. What are the other ones? Not Ohio, sorry, Idaho. All those other sort of really nice, calm northern states. If I went there, it would have been a very short period of time because the goal is to get out of the country. You get me? And I don't like winter, obviously. I love snow, right? I love winter in that sense. But at the same time, it's not really it's not really a great thing, you know, if you want to be outside a lot and just enjoy. I don't know how to explain, because demons made me homeless many times by stalking me, harassing me at my jobs. I obviously want God to take me to a country where there's no winter, you know, where so I'm protected from the snow and the cold if I actually ever become homeless again. That's what I was thinking back then. So, you know what I mean? So, not back then, sorry, very recently. Back then, I wasn't even thinking about that, because I didn't think there was going to be a pattern of me being harassed extremely as much, as long as I started a new, fresh cycle for myself by going to another country. You know what I mean? I kind of thought it was like here. You know, I didn't think this thing that's following me would follow me outside of the country. I thought it was more like just a strange cycle I got stuck in, where bad people just bother me at a job and other places I go to. I just thought that was the reason. I thought as long as I get out of where they control my life, which is a job, right? They can control my job, right? As long as bad managers, bad humans, they just possess them. Obviously, I will never succeed financially as long as, right, they can just control my employer. So obviously, I thought, start your business. Now, can demons control my life? Can they create situations for me like homelessness? Anything beyond that, other than just losing your job? Can they cause problems for me in other areas of my life? If at least sort of the financial part of me is in good, stable situation. No, right? Because money obviously is used to fix other areas of our life too. So, right, I'm thinking everything will be fine as long as I work for myself, which is something I always wanted to do even when I was younger and prior to 2019. It's just that they sabotaged it every time. But in 2019, I had a long couple of months to really think about this and say, I'm not going to be sabotaged again. You know, I'm going to go and do what I need to do. But I knew it has to be another country, because I knew the average human in this country is just the same evil person who bothers me for no reason, okay? Even though I didn't understand, right? I just knew it doesn't matter if I understand. They're just really bad people. But since they're mostly similar to each other in their morality, it doesn't affect them, right? They get along. You can't get along with me if you're toxic, okay? Your demons are going to get scared and they're going to bother me, because my morality is way higher than yours. So my energy is going to make your demons uncomfortable, even if I wasn't being persecuted, okay? You're just going to not, you're not going to just be yourself around me if you're a bad person deep down, okay? You're going to get scared, because you know someone who, if you just flip a little bit, I could expose you, you know? I don't mean I go and tell people about you. No, I just being around me, you're just going to get exposed. You get me? You just get triggered. So, okay. Okay, so these demonic spirits possessed everyone to just terrorize me everywhere I go. So I knew if I try to take a flight, it would be dangerous. Especially since one of the first things they do is they try to touch me. They're perverted, because they want to use that to get me to attack whoever did that, right? Whoever tried to touch you, like an employee, like a TSA, you know what I mean? Because they make them misbehave. They don't make humans do their job normally. Like if I went to hotels, they would constantly, as they're handing me something, I order something from DoorDash or other, you know, companies, the employees would always try to touch my hand. You get me? They don't just want to hand me the bag. They just they hold on to it. They don't let it go. And I have to constantly protect my hand from this perverted conduct of always trying to touch me. All they want is for me to just get into rage and just kill that human. You get me? Because it's repetitive, it's every day, it's all the time. You're gonna reach a point of rage, okay? I don't mean you just attack a human, kill them. No, I go through that every day, okay? Every single situation me and another human interact, they're trying to touch me. Of course, you're gonna get angry to a point of having such emotions like that where you want to beat them up. But the demons put that into me. Is they do witchcraft where they hope you kill the human. Obviously, I don't kill humans, okay? That's what the persecution wants me to do, okay? So I just want you to know what they want. They don't think I'm weak and they can touch me. No. They know what I hate most is perversion. Because a highly moral individual, someone God has protected, right, like me, is going to have morality as their greatest quality. Okay, the opposite of a immoral human is someone pure in their sexuality, okay? So I would hate the perverted human first. You get me? I would not go after other type of evil. The first evil I would get rid of if I had a choice is the perverted human. Whatever you do, I don't care. All the way up to rape or something, go all the way down to you just trying to touch people, invade their space, okay? I want you to disappear. If I could pick something, right? God asked me. So for that reason, they harassed me in other ways, yes. It just didn't work, right? I'm always calm. So they think less always. In 2019, when the persecution got extreme, it was just this one behavior every single time. You know, I get into an elevator, a street, anywhere I go, they're going to get close to my personal space. Even if it's a huge hallway, they can walk on the other side. This human is going to walk right next to me, hoping to bump their shoulder and their arm next to me that they're just pushing up, you know, down, left and right. Like it's so intentional and so evil. They don't care. You know, they're doing it in broad daylight. They just want to touch me because they want me to beat them up, okay, or kill them. And it just requires so much strength to not get angry. So it's only with God's strength that I obviously can handle this happening to me every day. Okay, so they ruined my trip. So yeah, I was afraid of having perverted conduct and harassment and being accused of crime in 2019 when I tried to travel across the country because God told me what's going to happen before it happened. You know, this sort of gut feeling. I just knew police would bother me. No one told me, right? I didn't see anything. I just knew when I left my last job in 2019, the day I'm coming home, complete random strangers would just look at me, just greet me, just wave, hey, like they know you. Like that's how I knew it's a character that seems to know me, you know, because they're just waiting in every hallway, every street. It's like there's just always someone there. They turn around like they know you. They smile. Hey, they want me to get angry. You get me? Because it's a stalker. And they're very perverted, very evil human beings. Okay, it's not a normal person. They want me to feel like, right, obviously, like I'm targeted and, right, they want me to feel like I should go isolate and run off somewhere, okay? They want to hurt me psychologically because strangers don't do that, right? And it can't happen all day, like every single second or 5 seconds. Someone can't wait in every little corner of your hallway, right, of your apartment or street. That's weird, okay? And these were new neighbors, some of them that they brought to the environment to make it worse for me. So I didn't want to go on an airline. I took Amtrak. Amtrak was sabotage. They literally called the cops on me to protect themselves from a situation where this creepy male kept approaching me. All he wanted was just to be around me and talk to me, okay? That perverted quality. He has no reason to approach me or talk to me. Okay, I felt it. You get me? My gut. And then I obviously asked him questions. Why? Like, what do you need? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to understand what the purpose is of his approach. Okay, he felt exposed, right? Boom, he just runs off. He doesn't say anything. Talks to managers, lies about me, acts like I did something bad or whatever because he has to protect himself. He's a pervert. He wanted to just hang there, you know, just be around me and then try to touch me or whatever. Okay, he left, lied about me, and they basically told me to leave the train. And they would not tell me where they're going to drop me off so that I wouldn't then know how to proceed from there. And they called the cops. Okay, and then I get off the wrong train. I was dropped off into, I'm trying to remember if it was Virginia or West Virginia. I think it was West Virginia. I can't remember, okay? But let's just say, I think it was West Virginia, around that area. Basically, the one next to Maryland. I can't remember right now. I'm not looking at the map. So I got out of there, right? I just stayed for a few days in a hotel. And that's when I really felt something was following me, right? Because every place I go, this is how I was treated. When I say everywhere, I mean every single day. Is that normal? No, you're going to feel scared, but not that kind of scared like cowardly, right? But you're going to at least be like, oh my God, what's happening to me, right? But I wasn't affected as much because I was used to this type of creepy male bothering me, okay? It's like God did something to my brain where he made me always anticipate it. So then I wasn't always bothered by it. You get me? It's like he sensitized me or desensitized me to it. Okay, I get out of that state and I go into Maryland. Okay, I just run off into Maryland, whichever state was nearby. So even though, right, I was trying to go to North Carolina, right, They drop me off in Virginia or West Virginia. Okay, then I go to Maryland by taking Lyft. Can you believe how much money I lost by taking Lyft? You're driving there basically. It's way too far, okay, in between. So I lost thousands of dollars to that because I know if I take the airline, TSA is going to be a problem. You know how they behave. Some of them are so perverted and they try to, okay, you get the point. My heart was just telling me, don't go, okay? Again, you should never be that uncomfortable or fearful, right? God taught me to not let the devil intimidate me like that and to just go. Now I'm not bothered, okay? Now I've overcome it. But before, I don't know it's demons, right? I don't necessarily think I should pray. I don't necessarily connect it to God in that sense. You get me? Of course, I'm very connected to God, but I don't know how to explain. I wasn't dealing with it on a spiritual level, right? I was dealing with it on a physical level where I just tried to fix the problem. Okay, so I avoided certain situations. You get me? Instead of going head on and defeating the enemy in front of me. You get me? Because we don't understand what it is. How can we defeat something, right? Technically, we don't even know what the hell is what they want technically. You know, I knew people were bothering me, but I didn't think they wanted to accuse me of crime and put me in jail. I didn't think jail was the intention. I didn't think accusing you of mental illness was the intention because they hoped you would react. You get me? Even though getting angry is normal, right? Is that something mental ill people do? No. They just want to accuse me, just random, okay? Again, that same perverted intention. If you go to a mental hospital, you know, they're obviously touching you. They might ask you to show your body. If you go to jail, they strip you. Do you see what the devil wants? He's perverted, okay? He's trying to put me in environments where he gets to see your naked body, all because he hopes I kill those people. Do you get the point? Situations I would never agree to do. I would never do it. If God put me in that situation, he knows what I'm going to do. And the devil is thinking, okay, I know she's going to kill someone. I know she's going to probably kill everyone in that jail. Okay, God told me, right? He told me not to do that. I don't know how to explain it to you, okay? He basically is the one telling me to not basically express my natural, instinct, because this is an enemy following me. I would never comply with those nonsensical things. So only God is putting me through it, and that's why I'm going through situations I would personally not go through. In the first part of the jail, when they accused me of crime in 2021, the first jail they took me to, I told them, obviously, I'm Muslim, we don't take our clothes off. So they just did tapping. The second jail, you get me, they didn't agree with that, okay? So it's like, I don't know how to explain. When I don't know what's going on, and I could actually kill someone, I could actually attack you if you try to tell me I have to take my clothes off. Okay, God knows you're not going to actually try to touch me. That human, right? The demons possessing them are scared of me. They're not going to actually try to physically take my clothes off, okay? I want you to know that's not possible. So it's only when I'm okay with it. It's only when I'm consenting to this sort of demonic persecution. It's only when I'm okay with it and God knows I'm not going to get angry that their demons are allowed to mistreat me, okay? If I ever snap and say, God, I'm not going to be patient with this anymore because this is a burden or a test on me from God, right? It's a trial. If I ever tell God I'm not going to be okay, the next person who harasses me, my creator, if I say that, God will not bring anyone to walk by. So most of the times that I get angry, okay, I actually get angry. Everyone disappears from that area. No one walks by me. No demonic spirit possesses anyone and comes by and calls me nasty names. They don't try to touch me. They disappear. Okay? So it's only when I'm okay with the persecution and I'm going to be patient that God actually allows the devil to come and act perverted or evil around me. If God actually knows I'm going to kill that human, God is not going to put me through that situation. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Okay, it's like God first gets me to sort of agree to be patient. But he's not actually putting me in situations that are very evil where he knows I would kill that person or beat them up and just puts me in it. You get me? He doesn't. Because he knows my natural instinct would be to kill them. He's not going to put me and that human in that situation. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like he prepares me first. Okay, so in that jail, no demon would ever possess them and be like, I'm sorry, you have to take your clothes off or we're going to strip you. No one could actually treat me like that. Okay? I'm not a regular human. You can't treat me like that. They're going to change their government policy for me. Exactly. But when God got me to lower my aggression, right? The second location we went to in that, the second, time we went to that second jail where, right, God basically prepared me to not be aggressive. Then they basically told me, oh, we need this to happen. It's part of their policy. Obviously they did it in an evil way. They didn't do it in a calm way or a nice way. But that's when God was trying to show me the evil they do to others. So I want you to know why they're being allowed to do these things to someone like me that I'm telling you the demons are scared of and they cannot touch me. Because you might be thinking, then why is it happening? God wants to show me what they're doing to you, the actual human. They forcefully strip you. They attack you. Okay? They could care less what you say. So unless God, right, gets me to see that he's in control of the situation, don't attack anyone. I want you to be patient. I want you to see what I'm trying to teach you. I'm putting you in the situation until I actually settle into that message. He doesn't put me in these situations where he knows I will attack that human, right? Because of the perversion that I'm seeing. You get me? I cannot tolerate perversion. I cannot just be like, okay, I'll sue you tomorrow. Never. Okay? So, and no human and demon has the power to actually touch my body, just so you know. They don't have to know who I am. They can't, okay? So God did it to me is what I'm saying. Just like the first jail I went to, they didn't ask you to strip or anything. It was with my permission. The second jail I go to, only when my mind is being changed by God, then it happens. But if God actually knows I'm going to be my natural self and attack that human, he's not going to put me in that situation. That's what I'm trying to say. And to some degree, God uses his own powers to do that to me. He does something to me where it's like I can't be aggressive to you to some degree. He takes it away from me, okay? He doesn't want me to kill these people. He doesn't want me to do that, okay? Because I obviously would not agree to this. You get me? He does something to me, to be honest. Okay, so when I'm leaving West Virginia, whatever state that was, Virginia or West Virginia, I think it was Virginia. Goodness, I'm getting so confused. Then I went to Maryland, right? Whichever one is closer to Ocean City, basically. So I went to Ocean City, which is a city in Maryland, the state Maryland. Okay, so this is in 2020. I go to Maryland. Again, everything's nice outside, right? All these crimes, all these things are still not happening. It's just COVID because I'm not homeless yet. I have thousands of dollars, okay? A lot of money that was supposed to be used to start my businesses, but the demon wants me to lose it through hotels. Every apartment complex I tried to go to, they would be like, oh, we can't help you, blah, blah, blah. They changed their policies. The ones that I had a good communication with, like one was in South Carolina. I couldn't go to South Carolina. Something happened, right? They rearranged my trip and ruined everything, okay? So, it was actually Amtrak. When I went on Amtrak, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to go to North Carolina. I was trying to go to North Carolina before I went on Amtrak. Okay, but then I decided, because they sabotaged it, my trip that I wanted to have to North Carolina was ruined because I had this apartment and all these things that I was trying to finalize before I went there. The demons sort of ruined everything. And they also ruined it by making the apartment I was in, because I had a couple of months to leave since the landlord was illegally evicting me. Demons brought pests to my environment. They can possess pests, okay? They created problems. They don't want to clean it. I had to clean it, waste all my money on getting rid of something a landlord should get rid of. They committed so many crimes against me, that landlord. And it was a landlord I knew since I was a teenager, okay? So when a demon possesses these individuals, it doesn't matter who they are, right? As long as deep down they're a bad human being. Even if we knew each other, it doesn't matter. They become a different person. Okay, so this landlord, right, the apartment, everyone just started to go against me all of a sudden. She was trying to put me, her demon was trying to put me in jail by, right, doing crime to me, harassing me, lying about everything. And she hoped that I would, goodness, her demon hoped that I would come, to a leasing office and act violent, So I just went up to them one time. Normally, and she would hide behind the glass. She wouldn't open the office. She doesn't want to come up and talk to you. You get me? Because she obviously is doing illegal things. So I'm trying to talk to her. You get me? And she acted like some innocent victim, right? Who's scared for her life and she's hiding behind this glass and she can't open the door and you're some crazy mentally ill lunatic threatening her. That's how they would try to portray me when I'm calmly, standing in front of her, trying to talk to her, telling her to open the door so we can talk, okay? So that's what I'm saying. They're doing evil and hope that you get angry, but they want to connect that to mental illness rather than just being violent. You get me? Or just being angry. For some reason, they're obsessed with mental illness. These demons want to accuse me of that because they accuse prophets of that. They accuse those supernatural men of that quality of being crazy because I explained many times on my healing guides, okay? So basically, right, I basically got rushed out or kicked out of my apartment, even though I had time, everything. I was controlling a lot of things. When the demons saw that I was trying to get this nice apartment in North Carolina, then they basically, right, attacked me here in my own apartment that I was living in, and I was forced to just leave because it was just pests all over my apartment, okay? They caused the situation to bring pests to my really nice, clean apartment, okay? And the landlord would constantly use that and all the other staff at her leasing office, especially the maintenance guy who was really perverted. They would try to use that to always try to come into my apartment. You get me? That excessive visiting they like to do. But for me, it wasn't harassment only. It was, they wanted to monitor because they're demonic spirits. They want to monitor what I'm doing. They want to be around me all the time. And they're always going to act perverted. So even in my own apartment, right? Those sort of hallway-like areas of your apartment, right? You're walking to the kitchen, to maybe the living room, like that. Those areas you would walk. They would try to constantly invade my personal space if I was standing on that side. Okay, they're not going to walk on the other side of that small hallway inside the apartment. They're always trying to touch me. I couldn't even watch what they're doing when they go into the bathroom because I'm not going to just let some stranger, right, whose maintenance just fix something in my apartment. I just go sit somewhere else. No, I like to watch, okay, because that's my bathroom. So the demon doesn't want me to do that. So then every time I tried to observe that, then it would, right, attack my mind with witchcraft. All this sort of fear and weird energy would come over me. It's demonic, okay? It's not a normal way you would feel as a human. So they had a lot of power to attack my body with all these emotions and thoughts that are not real. And then, right, that sort of they're trying to confuse me so that I don't actually see this human is going to be possessed and then run towards me all of a sudden. They fast, okay? They just get up. Maybe they were right at the, what is it called? Maybe they were like at the shower area, right? And then they're just going to get up and walk out of that bathroom door that I'm standing in front of. Instead of saying, excuse me, right? Like a human does and waiting for you to move out of their way. They're just going to run towards me. You get me? They just want to touch me. So it was really, these demons just want me to kill that person, okay? They're not actually, it's not really about touching. They know what I hate most. They know perversion is the first thing I would get rid of, okay? So if a human acted perverted, they know I'm going to become very aggressive, okay? They just want to put me in a prison or jail. They just want to accuse me of being, right, someone who just attacks people for no reason. Because they're going to lie. They're never going to tell you what they did that could have actually made the person angry. You get me? They're never going to be honest about what they did. If that maintenance, I actually beat him up, he's going to act like he never tried to touch you. You get me? I was just cleaning the sink. That's what he's going to say. Exactly. So they want to act like you're crazy then, right? You're mentally ill because you didn't have a reason to be violent. Rather than demons actually hoping you kill people or beat people up, and then they actually say, maybe it wasn't self-defense. You get me? Because then they're still just saying you're violent. They're not saying you're crazy, right? They're going to act like you had a reason maybe, right? But they're going to take away usually the reason, if I ever actually attacked anyone, what the reason was, what their evil, inappropriate behavior was. Because they want to make it seem like the person's crazy. You get me? Just randomly attacking people, okay? Okay, so a lot of bad things were happening that then sabotaged my ability to go to North Carolina. So I gave it up. It was really sad. I lost a lot of money to that. The staff were really nice. And you know what I mean? I had a good plan. I knew what state to go to. It was just frustrating. I lost everything, okay? And this is when I could still see decent people to some degree because that staff at that apartment were decent. Now, any apartment I message, usually in the southern states, they're really evil, okay? I'm not trying to be I'm telling you the truth when I say that people in northern states are more polite, okay, and more professional, more decent. I'm not joking. People in the southern states are more evil, okay, because this is the states that fought for slavery when slavery was being abolished. These are the ones who are like, hell no. Okay, so their ancestors, they come from that. These people today, whether they're African or not, they're just more evil. They're just more nasty in their attitude. Northern states, there's more gentleness and calmness. Anyways, so God pushed me to southern states is what I'm saying. He pushed me away from places like Idaho that I wanted to go to. He pushed me to northern states. I'm sorry, he pushed me to the southern states. You see what I'm saying? So God is controlling where I go, not me, okay? Because I would pick a place that is more decent for me. And then demons would have less control over that place to harass me because the average human is professional, polite. They're not going to, discriminate you. You get me? So he needs me, these demons need me to go to states where the average human is really toxic and strange and weird. Okay? And I swear to God, they're really mostly in southern states, okay? So I just got pushed to go into South Carolina then, okay? I gave up on North Carolina. I tried to go to South Carolina. So that trip was ruined because my Amtrak trip was ruined and I got dropped off intentionally through discrimination and harassment by these demonic spirits, doing that through the humans who were working at Amtrak. And other times they actually possessed these males when it was nighttime. I wasn't sleeping, but I would sleep very soon. These creepy, weird old males who are right next to the Amtrak. It's like, just Google Amtrak or YouTube, watch how it looks like, that train, okay? You can have like a room a little bit. It's like a small room. You can sleep in it, okay? Because it's a train that travels for days, right? So the person next to me, right, that human, they would always bring really evil, filthy, creepy, perverted males, okay? If there was anyone decent on that train, you get me, they're going to rearrange them somewhere else. They used him basically to try to open I don't know how to explain, the sort of connecting thing, right? This blocking thing that would block them from my sort of section, right? Sort of like my little room. He opened it. Okay, so it was broken. Okay, you can't normally open it because I selected the one that would be the most safe. Their demon did something and they broke it. Okay, that human broke it and they literally would open it and act like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought this was, and they're lying. Okay, he's just a pervert. Okay. So his demon tried to do that perversion. You get me? They want me to kill him. Okay. So in order to basically prevent me from whatever success I'm trying to achieve, demons are always trying to act inappropriate, criminal, evil, perverted towards me, right? Hoping that I react violently as a way to prevent me from any worldly success, because they think then they can put you at a jail, mental hospital, and then you're not going to be able to be successful. You get me? So the whole goal of this jail nonsense, where they always want me to, right, attack a human who they possess to act evil towards me, right, is not about just, oh, let's harass you. It's so that I don't accomplish anything worldly in this life, because whatever I do accomplish, if God takes them out of my way, is actually going to help the human race. It's not personal to me. My businesses are for global protection. I'm trying to help people, whoever you are. So they're scared of my businesses, okay? But also for me, my own personal happiness, right? My own worldly success, wealth, etc. Right? That's sort of why then they have to always, right, not just harass me, but always try to accuse me after they harass me, hoping to call cops, hoping the cop, right, they can possess them and then put you at a jail. You get me? Just to prevent me from success. So as I'm traveling on an Amtrak, they know I'm going towards my success, right? I'm going to go to a nice state, start businesses, and then very soon leave the country, start more businesses. They're paranoid, okay? So they're thinking, we can't just harass the person, because how is harassment going to stop her from success? We got to accuse her. We got to isolate her from society, put her in a jail, a prison, a mental hospital. We got to label her crazy so people don't respect her intelligence, her wisdom, her whatever greatness she has mentally. We got to act like her mind is actually weird. You get me? They're obsessed with my intellect, accusing that of therefore not existing, accusing it of you actually being a crazy person, because they're always harassing me. They're always doing evil behavior, but usually third parties are not there to see it. they hope then, right, that human can just accuse you and others just believe and you go to jail. You get me? But sometimes they all see it. Who cares? They're not going to help me because they're possessed. They're against me. So I actually reported this old creepy male, right, who kept opening that sort of door, like window, like thing in Amtrak many times. And I could not sleep, okay? I felt so sick and unsafe. So I reported and I said, I need someone to give me a new place. Let me go sit somewhere else. That's something easy for those workers to do. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, let's go. Instead, they're possessed. They kept harassing me. And every time they would move towards me, those males would constantly move towards my face. They always trying to get in very close to my personal space, okay, as I'm reporting this situation. So it's just, you get what I'm saying? Anyone would lose it and attack you. If every human you speak to is trying to get close to your face, get close to your body, trying to touch you, what are you going to do? If it's happening all day, everywhere you go and anyone you talk to, is that normal? That's insanity, okay? So they're choosing this one behavior over and over and over again, this perverted conduct. And then when they're speaking to me verbally, they're inappropriate, they're narcissistic, they're gaslighting, they're lying, they're accusing me. You get me? Psychological torture that would lead anyone to explode and become violent. That's what they want. So I have immense patience, you know? So they think just one more time, just one more perverted conduct, they think then you're gonna explode. They never learn. These demons are dumb. They never learn. They can't just get the point. I'm way too calm, okay? So those males then would treat me like that. Oh, it was insanity. I call Amtrak. I tell them what's going on. And they just disregard my complaint. They don't give me back my refund for my money after, right? Police were called, kicked me out just to cover up all these misconduct their employees did, right? Because it wasn't just the employees trying to be perverted and coming up to me. And then when I tried to, protect myself and question why they're approaching me, why they're coming to sort of my area, right, my room or whatever, boom, they just run off and lie about me, okay, and call the cops on me. It was also these other behaviors prior to that, where passengers were also possessed to be perverted, inappropriate, evil. And when I asked for support, right, to go somewhere else, no one helped me, right? So these humans, their demons are trying to prevent anyone, third parties, from knowing that this is how I was treated so many times, right, in a single ride, which would obviously show something's wrong, right? That obviously I'm not a regular person if everyone wants to harass me, right? Demons don't want anyone to know I'm being persecuted. So they have to always push me out of the environment. So I go to a new location and then they can start the harassment all over again. They think that no one knows, right? So they actually want me to move. Because if I stay in one city and I report every month 200 crimes that were done to me, police are going to get the point. You can contact the FBI and be like, I need extra protection, right? People are going to get the point. You need help. You're like a celebrity or something. Okay, they don't want people to know that. They make me move around and travel around a lot so you don't see the pattern, right? Again, it happens everywhere else I go, I know. But then they're going to make it seem like, right, it's just a coincidence, you know? So anyways, but also to protect those individuals they possess to harass me. These demons, for some reason, don't want them to get in trouble. They actually want to protect the humans they're possessing from me, because it's not really that demons care about them, right? It's that it would give me social help. You get me? The world or the country would actually be like, you're someone, right, we want to protect. People would actually sort of come to me in support. So they don't want that. You get me? So they don't want a trail of evidence of people harassing me, you know? So they have to retaliate against me right away. They have to accuse me. They have to try to get me out of that place right away. So that, right, I can't report, the investigation ends, and they're held accountable, right? Every time I reported someone like the landlord to the court and I had a court meeting, I couldn't go through the court process. You get me? I just left because the pests were just eating my life and my health and everything. Right? Everything I cook, there's pests all over. What are you going to do, man? You can't sleep there like that. They ruin the environment, so I actually have to go, right? Okay, so using Lyft or a taxi, went to Maryland. I went to Ocean City. It was the nearest place to go because I just wanted to get the hell out of West Virginia or Virginia, whichever one it was. I just felt so sick in that state. It was so disgusting to me, the energy, because I can sense demonic energy. This state was so creepy and it was so quiet and weird anyway. So I wanted to get the hell out of there. I go to Maryland and it felt like I was in a desert. It was some sort of, because it was just ocean. Like where are the people? Where's the buildings? The way it's built is also like really, like it feels like a poor country. It wasn't built beautifully like certain states. The sort of nice downtown places. I went to their hotel in Ocean City, and instantly the hotel employee is literally possessed as well, just staring at you, just staring at you, just staring and just smirking. They will not stop staring even when you look at them, because they want you to say something. You get me? So I would just ignore it. I was way too smart for those demons. I know what they want, right? A reaction. I just ignore. And there you go. They didn't get what they wanted, so she starts cussing you out, making comments about, they just want you to say something. I just went to my hotel room. I ignored it. I tried to report them, but then I was like, maybe that's not a good idea because they could ask you to leave. So I just wanted to leave myself. Okay, right, just go to another hotel. But it was so far away, you get me? Because I was in Ocean City. Just Google it, okay? You're really not near a city-like place. You get me? It was just a huge, I don't know how to explain it. It was just hotels a lot and then the ocean. And since it was COVID, all the businesses were closed and there's not much you can do there. I couldn't really have fun, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to leave. But it would take a lot to get to a nice city, right? Because everything was far in between. Ocean City is so far away from the typical main cities of Maryland. Okay, so then again, the demons possessed another group of the hotel staff, acting inappropriate, you know what I mean? And then I actually almost confronted them, okay? This is when I was really getting angry, you know what I mean? Because, just imagine weeks and weeks, right, as I'm going through all this traveling, every stranger's harassing me like this. You're gonna snap, okay? Again, I would never hit anyone, but I would confront you, you get me? But then, boom, God stopped me. There was this strange, it wasn't a tornado, but it felt like a tornado. It was this extremely strong, powerful wind. All these human beings, they're demons who were possessing them, were not affected by the wind. That's when I realized these are not human beings, right? The human body, the demon was using their power to prevent it from swaying by the wind. Because this is the type of wind that would make you fly, okay? You just disappear. It's too strong, okay? I was the only one affected by the wind. You get me? And I was thinking to God, and this is what they're doing. This is how you know they're demons. All these strangers, their faces possessed, they just look at me with a sort of leering, like when someone's smirking, but they're not really smirking, and their side eyes looking at you as they walk by. They're just focused on you. All of them are doing that. They're smirking, laughing, just creepy, just staring, and they're just so set on my face. They're just watching me, and they're not affected by the wind. They're just walking casually. And this is one of the most dangerous winds I've ever seen. You get me? So God did that wind to prevent me from going back to the hotel, and he made me get lost. I just got lost, okay? I had to go under this bridge to protect myself from the wind. It was so strong, okay? It was not a regular wind. So I just requested a lift. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. But then the demon possessed the lift driver to just drive off, okay? They didn't message me or anything because God didn't want me to go back, to the hotel. So, okay, can you believe that God Almighty created this unique divine wind from himself to prevent me from going back and possibly, getting angry and confronting and attacking possibly those human beings? I don't mean I go and attack you. No. If it escalated, if they acted even more inappropriate, it's possible you could have actually did something, right? But I was going to confront them. You know what I mean? I was going to do what a human being is naturally created to do. And it could escalate, right? If you confront them, obviously it could get worse. You might get more angry. As well as, right, God didn't want them to accuse me and call the cops at that time. At that time, he didn't want me to get harassed by police because it was too early. He first wanted me to get used to the fact that these are demons, because then you're sort of prepared for the dangerous sort of situations God wants to put me in, right? Which is what happened later, because this was 2020. And this stuff, right, that was so dangerous happened 2021, 2022. I wasn't ready for that. You know what I mean? If I actually thought humans were given power to do these things, I would have been extremely aggressive to them. You get me? I would have attacked him. Okay, so God doesn't want me to attack anyone. Do you get what I'm saying? So he doesn't want me to just see the behavior and feel my natural feelings, because then obviously I'm going to do what you expect. So in order for him to prevent me from using the strength he gave me, I don't have typical female strength, okay? I have strength, okay? He doesn't want me to use that. In order to prevent that, he doesn't let me confront demons in situations where God just wanted me to see the bad behavior, learn something from it, or ignore it, or whatever. Just like his prophets were harassed like this by complete right strangers who were possessed to bother them every day. God knows I don't know they're demons. I might actually get angry, you know? He knows I'm not ready or prepared to see a cop being called on me and you being told you're going to go to jail. He knows I can't handle this stuff. I'm not ready or strong enough to deal with this nonsense, okay, spiritually. So then he waited until I was actually ready. I don't know how to explain that as much. It's too detailed if I was to explain. So you get me? He just protected me from certain things. He delayed the process. He got me used to the harassment first. Because at first I was just being my natural stuff. What did you say to me? I was just going to confront you. And I obviously confronted these human beings many times in my life. And they stop. You get me? I obviously get them to leave me alone. I confront them the way you expect an assertive person to confront you. But now they're not going to act like a human after that. You get me? They're not going to be like, okay. And they're not going to leave you alone. Now their demon has more power. It's just going to accuse me and call the cops on me. You get me? It's going to put my life in danger. God knows I don't know that. I don't know their intention is to put me in jail. You get me? So he's not going to then let me confront them. He wants me to sort of see that's their intention first. You get me? Because then you can handle it. Anyways, this wind prevented me from going back to the hotel until it was nighttime and those employees were no longer at the front desk. Okay, that's literally what I'm trying to say. If I would actually kill a human being for the conduct their demonic spirit is doing, which is very evil, perverted behaviors, God is not going to let me see that human being. He knows I will kill them, okay? He doesn't want me to do that, okay? He doesn't want me to get angry and respond in that natural way. If someone does something really criminal and really evil in front of you. So he's always getting them out of my way when I'm angry. They disappear, okay? Because it's persecution. He wants me to just, I don't know how to explain, just get through the persecution. I'm not saying God wants us to just shut up and go through evil. It's just that it's a test from him. It's not from the devil. Because then he'd tell you, go kill the devil, right? He's doing it to me. That means he wants to teach me something. So he doesn't want me to respond the way a regular human, if they were in that situation, they would respond. Or someone like me who's a bit different than a regular human, the way I would respond. I'm not saying I kill people, okay? I'm not like that. I'm just saying if something was done in front of you that would lead you to be aggressive, right, or violent, God is not going to let me then right away deal with that human. You get me? And then when I was aware that it's demonic, aware that I have a unique life and demons are following me, and God wants me to not react violently, right? Not even confront them or do. You get me? When he told me to just ignore them, then he put me in that jail and actually made his creation do evil to me. You get me? Even though they cannot, even though I would obviously attack you if you try to do something. He didn't allow me to do anything because this was a time where he knew I was ready. Okay, I'm sorry I'm repeating this so much. So basically, Maryland, right? I quickly left Maryland, so it wasn't a place that I stayed in. I never went to North Carolina or South Carolina. So basically the states that right, I didn't go to, or I could care less to go there, right? Demons might have pushed me there. It's not gonna really get attacked by demonic, attacks or anything. It's the states that I want to actually go to. You know what I mean? And I actually succeed or something. That's where this country, then crime and destruction and all this evil started to happen. Because it's because of me is what I'm trying to show you. Okay? Just go on the news, okay? Just study the past few years what happened to the United States. Study the states that really just got crazy. It's mostly southern states, the ones that you could pinpoint right away from the north. Minnesota, I grew up there. When did it happen? 2019, when I was trying to leave the country. Okay, so I'm saying that these demonic spirits are following me. Wherever I go, they come to it, they destroy that state. That's my point. So it's because of me, sadly, and I can't stop it. I can't pray, that they disappear. God is the one making them follow me. I cannot do anything to make them leave me alone. You get me? Because if God is making them bother me, versus they're just bothering me because they had a power to do so, God would save me. But if He's making them persecute me, there's nothing I can do to convince God. Okay, so it's just one of those things the devil is just allowed to do. And I'm just sitting here on the side, really sad about it. But I have to become strong spiritually the way God wants me to through that process, instead of my natural feelings as a creation where I obviously am very angry. Okay. Why should the country be destroyed? Why should all these states be destroyed because I go there? Why should the devil be given this power to confuse people, make it seem like it's something else that's causing the problem, when it's me they're following me? They're ruining whatever state I go to. Okay, so I leave Maryland. I went to many states. I can't really remember. But I just kept traveling. I just stayed in their hotels and then I would leave. You get me? I'm losing a lot of money this way because I'm just trying to get to the state I wanted by using Lyft. You get me? Which is a lot of money you're wasting because I don't want to go through the airline nonsense. So I went to Pennsylvania. I went to Pittsburgh. And then I left Pennsylvania. And then where did I go after that? Arizona. And then after Arizona, I went to Texas. So I want you to know the states that I really wanted to go to, which was Arizona. I actually picked this one. I picked it, okay? I didn't pick Pennsylvania as much. It was just traveling, right? But I picked Arizona. I picked Texas, okay? I want you to see what's going on. Right now, I want you to look at the news. These states have so much crime. There's so much crazy stuff happening, right? Arizona, for example, is the first one now to take away all rights of abortion. And then, what was the other one? Yeah, Texas is the one that started to have all these illegal immigrants come in, all this crime, all this craziness, because that's the state God gave the devil the power to accuse me of crime and imprison me and abuse me there. So horrible stuff then started to happen to the state, okay? What was the other states? Okay, and I mentioned New York in that other episode.